hypothetically speaking, you know, and like not grinding out and working and everything, I'd probably very more likely be much more conscious about that, about what I eat, and uh, and the calories and everything. And I probably would be a little more decision fatigue, you know, picking things out, you know. But sometimes you just don't need to shoot your own self in the foot and put more obstacles in your way than what you
Yeah.
really need, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like reduce, you know.
Reduce friction.
Right, right. Oh, aside from that, like so far as like health things, for the most part, I don't eat seafood, and I don't eat pork, uh, or gelatin. You know, gelatin
Wait,
has
why don't you
pork.
like seafood?
For the most part, like it's not good for you. You know, a lot of it. You know, like I eat some uh, for like religious reasons, and then you know what you're familiar with. Uh, Again, it just becomes like decision fatigue. Like, do I have to? I don't want to have to think about that. You know, like I don't want to have to deal with the health consequences. Like, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's worked for me for this long in my life. You know, uh, and some people I could see right now being like, oh, well, you have to expose yourself to new experiences and everything like that. Well, not every experience. You don't want to expose yourself to like fucking radiation because it's new.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you don't got to do that for everything.
Yeah.
You know, so again, self-awareness is key.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's all I had to really say about, I think, the nutrition thing. I don't know if you have more about that, but
Um, okay, so this all kind of blends in together.
feel free to pause if we need to take a break or anything like that. You're
No.
good. I'm good.
Um, okay, so I don't know if you guys are aware of this YouTube creator. He's a bodybuilder. His name is Sam Sulik.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of his, but not shooting shots. It's just.
Do we need to pause the recording?
Huh?
Do we need to pause?
No, I
Okay.
mean, I don't think it's controversial, but
Okay.
we all know he's, using steroids and stuff.
Oh, you just gonna say that on my channel? All right. Okay.
What the heck?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay, look,
I
look.
couldn't tell you.
Remember the stuff I said?
What?
Um,
Should we pause this?
no. I feel like this is what I think.
Yeah.
It's an opinion, but it might be fact. If you're really like big, like physically big, but you're not like high definition, there's a chance, you're natural. But let's say, but then, you're really cut and very defined, but you're also like 150 pounds, there's a high chance you're natural. But when you're kind of like both, right? Let's say you're 240, 250 pounds, and you're like high def, like really cut and very detailed. I think you're on the juice. So that's just how I feel, because I don't think like it can be achievable with like naturally.
I'm not gonna speak on anybody's situation, but what I would suggest is that maybe that's a like a confirmation bias too. You know, maybe a selective seeing, selective hearing. Like, what did they say about? I think this is just an example. I forget the exact specifics, but I remember there was like somebody that did something so far as like running. Maybe they ran like a mile faster than anybody could. Maybe I don't know. Like, I'm just throwing a number out there. Maybe they broke like, say, like a 4-minute mile. You know, and this is a real example, but like my specifics are off. You know, so like say somebody broke a 4-minute mile. You know, one person does it, and people previously believed that it could never be done before.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But now one person does it, and now because that one person did it, now like hella people doing it. You know, just because it's been done one time.
Yeah.
Like, I forget the exact example, but like that's happened before too. You know, so like I don't want to I don't know. Like, if I don't know, I'm gonna just say like I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's the case. You know, I could only speak. You know, I'm not gonna say what isn't possible. You know, this is me personally. I'm not trying to take a detour or whatever, talk about like hella examples and everything, but it reminds me of two specific examples. One with fleas. You familiar with like fleas, the little bugs or whatever? They jump real high. They put like, this was an experiment. They put a whole bunch of fleas in a container, and they would like jump. You know, they would jump out of the container. You know, and what they did was, they closed the container on the fleas. And now, obviously, you know, because you have a cap on the container, nobody's jumping out, you know. Now, these fleas, they have children, they have babies, right? And so, naturally, they jump too. But what you could do is, once they have the babies, you could take the container, the top off, and none of the fleas, including the babies, are going to jump out, even after you remove the top. Because they already have that belief that they can't do it, so none of the fleas even try it. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, that's you like all that psychology stuff.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. Yeah.
But I just didn't think fleas were that smart.
You don't think about it. I mean, shit. And those are fucking fleas. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine people.
Yeah.
Imagine people. So
you okay. So what? I'll basically put a cap on the human capabilities.
Potential.
Because look,
maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I don't know, but I'm just saying I don't know.
No, testimony. I am 209, 210 pounds natural. I eat at least 3 to 4 meals with a protein shake. So you do the math. I'm not like basically like scarfing down like a bunch of food, but it gets to a point where there was a Jay Cutler interview where somebody said, "Hey, what's the hardest part about bodybuilding?" And he was like, "Eating."
I think I've heard
and
Ronnie Coleman say it.
Yeah,
too, yeah.
You know why? Because you're basically force feeding.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Like, you know, we're not meant to be that big, right? Like Broly.
If you say so. Maybe you projecting.
No. Look, I think it's body dysmorphia. You know why?
Maybe you're not wrong.
Maybe
I mean, they do. A lot of them experience injury and getting hurt and everything. Is, you know, I always look for sustainability. I don't care if we're talking about on an individual level or society, civilization. Like, what is sustainable? You know. So I mean, shit. Apparently, from what we've seen, it's rarely, if ever, sustainable. Like Jay Cutler is a good example of what is sustainable. You know, he was able to do what he did, and you know, persevere throughout the years. But you look at a lot of them look unhealthy.
You know, die at the age of 50.
Yeah.
And bad joints, bad back, bad knees.
So, you know, like, you were built to maintain, you know, for a long time. You know, so if you can't do that, maybe you did something unnatural. Maybe you did some bullshit. You know, so.
But anyways, what I'm trying to say is you can only eat so much, and you can only get big so much, right? Depending on your skeletal frame. I'm pretty sure a guy that's like 6'3" can easily reach 240, 250 pounds natural, right? But I don't think he'll be like cut. Like if you're big, I've seen them before. They're big, but they're not cut, right? They have a little belly, and they're what are these, like the lines? The definition of their like striations is not as defined. That's what I feel like. I mean, you can be big and strong, but there's always a give and take. I feel like you can't be cut and big at the same time. That's what I'm trying to say.
You said something I do agree with. There's always a give and take. Everything has trade-offs.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I do agree with that. I don't care what we're talking about. Everything has trade-offs. I've heard this one saying, this quote, I'm going to leave y'all with. You can be anything, but you can't be everything.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, I think that's straight facts.
Yeah.
You know.
But anyways,
wait. I think. I was gonna give you another example. Maybe I've talked to you about this before. I'm sure I've discussed this on the channel, but we were talking about the parasites. Fleas.
Yeah.
Elephants. Baby elephants will fight, right? You lock them in some chains. What they have to do to I guess basically tame the elephants is they have to put the baby elephant in chains. And the baby elephant will fight. You know. Now, by the time that baby elephant becomes an adult, all the fight is gone. There's no more
And
fight.
it truly believes it cannot break chains.
Absolutely. It's a
When it
mindset
can.
thing, right?
Yeah.
It could break chains, ropes. It doesn't matter. But you can
You programmed it to think, to limit its,
potential.
yeah.
You can incapacitate an adult elephant that's been broken with just ropes. It's like an illusion, If you programmed it from that young age that it can't do this, it's broken. It's gonna believe that, and it won't, can't break it. It's just gonna be stuck in the ropes. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the elephant.
I like these psychology.
Have you heard that one before?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
This ties in. So the reason why I brought up steroids is because we both like working out, but none of us use steroids or enhancements, as they call it. Right. So the human body can't do X amount, then you enhance yourself so you can do X amount. But there's a give and take, obviously, with I feel like since your heart is a muscle too, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with your heart and your veins. That's why a lot of them don't look right, in my opinion, and that's why they have shorter lifespans.
Okay.
That's what I think. I don't know.
I don't speak on shit I don't know about. This is not a fitness channel. Just to give y'all some context, some disclosure, that's not what this is. But this is just here where we express ideas and opinions freely and openly. So
I don't know. Who's to say a person who uses steroids can't live up to 60, 70, right? I don't know. Because I had this topic right here: short life with bad decisions, or long life and safe decisions.
Oh, is that for me?
That, yeah, and yeah. Let's say
again, that reminds me of the artist's dilemma, right?
Yeah.
It's like, who's to say all your decisions are safe, or what was the
basically
bad decisions? That's a loaded term. I can't imagine, regardless of how many bad decisions people actually do make, I can't imagine anybody thinking, oh, hey, this is a bad decision, let me do it. Or
example.
Unless it's on purpose, unless you're like, oh, I want it in my life, on purpose, somebody's like that. I can't see anybody saying oh, I want to make this bad decision.
If you had a chance to live as a king, multiple properties, multiple mansions, multiple riches, right? Basically the riches of the world, right?
It sounds like an artist's dilemma question, but I'm listening.
If you had that, but the catch is, you have to take advantage of everybody. I mean, if you think about it,
I think that's what you do.
If you think about it, billionaires,
I think that's what you do.
There's no way you can work your way to a billionaire. You have to take advantage.
Again, I'm not in the position to make that conclusion, but based on the evidence that's been presented to me, I do agree with you. Personally,
somebody has to take the short end of the stick for this other person to be rich.
But what is the greater good, right? Shit, I trust myself more than a lot of other people. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel about it. That's how I rationalize. Maybe it's just a bullshit justification, rationalization, But I see myself and how competent and how much I care about people. I can only answer that for myself, competence and compassion. Those are two principles that I have within me, that justify and rationalize my decision. Maybe nobody's right 100% of the time. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I justify my decisions and get it. That's why I need to eat more than this other person, because if I'm well fed, they say you need to look out for your own oxygen. If you're flying, right, you need to make sure that you have oxygen before you take care of anybody else. I've talked about this before a lot. Not sustainability. Help me out. You know the word I'm looking for. I'll come back around to it.
You're basically treating yourself like
self something. uh, not self-serving. It's like you protect yourself. Self
Preservation.
preservation. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
I was
Self-preservation.
going to say selfish.
That's it. That's it. Self-preservation, right? Two other examples aside from the oxygen. You know, if like there's this well and you only have so much water, you know, do you give out the water to like everybody equally, you know, regardless of where they
if
are?
you're a leader,
Do you? Or do you
But
provide water to the people who are most competent within the society
Probably.
so that they can provide water to anybody else who can't provide for themselves? Like, and there may or may not be a right or wrong answer. I know I have personal beliefs, you know.
I think they do look out for their own, or like the most, whatever you say.
I think that would make
competent.
sense. I think
Yeah.
that would make sense. You know, let's say you have everybody within society only has so many bricks to lay their foundation for their house. You know, but some people BS, you know, their bricks, and they give their bricks away, and they don't distribute their resources responsibly, you know, and so they ask you for bricks. Well, I mean, is that your responsibility?
No.
You know, so like, yeah, that's my answer too. But you have to preserve your resources and wherewithal before you help anybody else. You know, like that's my answer. And as you know, if we're talking about as a leader and responsibility to society, which I do agree with, you know, once you're taken care of, yes, you should be looking to help others. You know, but you can't help anybody else without first helping yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so like, yeah, that is the main goal. That is the end goal. But yeah, you can only give what you have for yourself. So I don't know if that answers your question about that.
Yeah, kind of.
And then I don't know if we got off topic with the what are you talking about? Well, was it the risk and the reward thing? Safe life versus the risky decisions. Did we
we
talk about that?
Yeah, but it kind of got. I didn't like the topic. It
Yeah, like my
probably-
answers.
probably too many It's probably too controversial too.
I don't think it's for
Well,
me,
now,
it's
that,
like
now I'm thinking about it.
it's like a
bringing
lot
it-
of these things don't have like black and white answers. A lot of
Yeah.
it is like contextual. You know, it's self-awareness. I think.
because I just interpret, like basically what I've seen is like the bad people. I'm gonna just say bad. The bad people always have a better, more luxurious life that I've seen compared to.
See, again, it makes me wonder if that's like your perception.
I think it is.
I think so. Like
I see a lot of streamers that are.
maybe instead of associating ethics with what they're doing, maybe you should reverse engineer and ask yourself, what do you want? And then rationalize why you want what you want, instead of attaching a moral stance on, you see what I'm saying? I don't
can
know.
think of a lot of people, like there's
Like-
streamers, right? There's a lot of them that are like racist,
Mm-hmm.
pedos. You get anything
Yeah.
you can think of under the sun, and taking advantage and selling product, right? Cheap product, but it's like I don't know.
I got two things for you. I don't know if you keep going.
I don't want to name names now that
No, don't do that. I have ideas, but
it's basically a rebranded something that already existed, but they rebranded to theirs, and they bash on the original stuff
Oh, okay.
with slight tweaks of ingredients. So they upsell their own product that way.
What's it called? Like appropriation or something? Like they just took it for their own and they're just...
Yeah, and then they're
Yeah.
basically
Can I
and
go?
it was marked up threefold the price. Let's say the original was $8. This is $24, and then somebody complained saying, "Why are you selling super expensive?" Rebranded.
Why you worried about what I'm doing?
Yeah, but then the streamer would like bash on the guy who made that comment, and basically what I'm just all boils down to is I'm sick and tired of seeing bad people making lots of money.
My question, I got two for you. One, These are just the people that you see, right? Imagine the people that you don't see that are doing the same stuff,
Yeah.
but you just don't see it
Yeah.
because they're not wealthy and famous. You think about that? Because what it sounds like is like you're undoing your potential success by associating morality to success. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's people that are unethical and not successful. You ain't one of them. You know, you don't think about them, right? Is there nobody that you could think of that is successful and ethical? Not one. You mean to tell me?
No, that is a some.
That's enough justification for me. And then got my second point. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like there's no. What's the saying? Correlation does not equal causation. You heard that before? You know, so it's like, okay, you know, yeah, but unless you find that like a controlled experiment, unless you find that's the case 100% of the time, then you have to throw your premise out. You know, like a hypothesis. This is your hypothesis that you have to be unethical in order to be successful. Well, if you can disprove that just once, then that's not true.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying that there's a little bit too much of what I'm seeing.
Because it was what you see.
Yeah, what I see.
But think about what you haven't.
I haven't seen, yeah.
That's what I think about. Now, what I was about to say risk. You know, if you substitute ethics and morality for risk instead, I think there is something to say about risk, but not necessarily that either. You know, you could have been like, if you inherit your wealth, but outside of inheritance, I don't think I could come up with an example. You see what I'm saying? Unless this is my personal belief. Chew on this. Let me know what you think about this. Unless you inherit your wealth, your success, you have to risk something in order to get wealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you agree with that? Yeah, that's what I think personally. Like, I'm not gonna say gambling, you know, because that's a bad example, you know. But you know, you have to. There is some level of. I mean, life is risky. Even if you make safe bets your whole life, right? It's like betting safe on yourself your whole life. That's a risk.
It is a risk.
Yeah.
You're missing out on opportunities.
And regret, and yeah, missing out, like you said, missing out opportunities. So, love these discussions. You got some more?
Yeah. Some of them probably is too controversial.
What's controversial? We are controversy. We are aura. I like that. That sounds like a crazy ass title. Controversial aura.
Mm-hmm. That sounds cool.
Write that down.
I guess we can talk about like content creation, collaboration, and risks of who you collaborate with.
Okay.
Who you send links to, who sends links to you, if it's like
Oh,
malware.
You asked me a question earlier. I don't know if we actually fully discussed. Why do I trust my team with what I do? Right?
Yeah. But then you flipped it on me, so
but did we answer that though?
Yeah, I said there was like you've proven more than enough times where I saw that you cared about my well-being.
Yeah. I feel like they've done that for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, have you provided enough goodwill to be trusted to risk versus reward, and your cost benefit ratio? You know, have you provided enough goodwill to be trusted with what you're asking for? I think that's what it comes down to. You know, uh, is it going to be easier, more convenient, you know, for me to trust you? It's like, because really, if you want to keep it a buck, you can't trust anything or anybody. You can't, like, we could be in the Matrix.
Yeah.
You know, like, how do you, what Morpheus said, he said, if real is only what you can see or touch, taste, and feel, real is no more than electrical signals being interpreted by your brain,
It is what, yeah.
right? You know, so I mean, I don't know, I think there's more to real than that for me. You know, so yeah, it's like what real recognizes real. You know, so that probably wasn't really a topic of discussion, or what? I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it kind of was.
I thought it was worth mentioning. You know, so team, if you're watching this, I trust you. So just don't abuse it. May giveth and I taketh away.
Let's say collaboration. Let's say somebody liked your stuff and they DM you, hey, I really like your stuff. How do you know if they're like legit, right? Like,
I'm very reluctant to collaborate. I'm gonna just say that. Like, what do they say? Things that are expensive are not easily attained, right? So like my trust is expensive. Like I don't just trust anybody, you know. So
yeah,
for one, they'd have to do their due diligence. You know, they can't just BS me on the initial interaction or engagement. Like you don't know who I am. Like I could tell. I got hit up by a celebrity yesterday. I'll talk to you off script about who this was, but I don't think they really knew who I was. You know, I think it was probably like a manager or something like that. And like, just in case, I said thank you. You know, I still keep it polite, but I keep it pushing. You know, but yeah, it's like so yeah, my trust is expensive. You know, among other things. Yeah.
Yo, what's good, y'all? I am OMA, one who may a sin, console trap metal recording artist. Here in our YouTube channel, you can expect exclusive content, whether it's vlogs, music, freestyles, behind the scenes. You never know what you're gonna expect, so make sure you hit your post notifications, like, comment, subscribe, share it with somebody else who might find it valuable as well. Stay tuned, the best is yet to come. We're going all the way up, eyes to the sky.